Hey everyone, Shadow here and welcome back to another Dauntless video. In this one I will tell you everything about the new sale vendor as well as share some feedback from my side regarding the new addition to the game. Firstly, the sale vendor will be coming to the game sometime this week. I presume today, Wednesday the 12th of September, depending on where you live you might see him either today or tomorrow. So, the new vendor is going to be called the Middleman. He will let you purchase and combine sales. And with this, there are two new currencies coming to the game, Ether Dust and Ace Chips. The Ether Dust can be obtained by breaking down cells, which you have no use for or have an abundance of. You can do this by opening up your inventory and clicking the salvage button on the target cell. Ace Chips can only be obtained from the in-game store, however, and will cost you platinum, and if you do not have any, this means real-life currency investment. So those two new currency fit in the game in the following way. Ether Dust can be taken to the Middleman and used to buy sales from him. He will offer 3 different sales each week, 1 epic plus free sale and 2 rare plus 2 sales. You can buy these each week with Ether Dust or Platinum. I presume you will be able to buy as many of the sales as you can or have the currency rather than only being a single instance of them. The sales will get switched each week. The Middleman has a second function and that one is to combine sales. He can combine 2 sales into a new one. If you put 2 random plus 1 sales, it will give you a random plus 2 sale in return. 2 identical plus 1 sales will give you the same plus 2 sale. 2 plus 1 sales from the same tree, let's say the power tree, will give you a random plus 2 cell from the power tree. For the example, if you put in an Ether Hunter cell and a Rage Hunter cell, it can give you a random other cell from the power tree, like Rage or Pacifier or Knockout King. You can also put plus 2 cells to get plus 3 cells, but however, do not try to put a plus 1 and a plus 2 cells together, because it will not work and there is no explanation why it does not work at the moment. The final thing the Middleman can do for you is take your plus 3 cells and alongside some notes turn them into random plus 3 cells. Again, this is a random chance, so be careful, you can salvage or exchange the cells, choice is yours. Combining the cells takes time, however, it might be free but it takes time. It takes 24 hours to combine the plus 1 cells and longer for the plus 2 cells. Here comes the Ace Chips. The Ace Chips reduce the time it takes for the cells to combine. You can unlock more combining slots, so you can have a maximum of 3 cells combining at the same time, but it will cost you platinum. Now let's start with my feedback on all of this. The weekly sales for buying are a good idea, but could have been a better one. Firstly, they could have added a bit more sales to the game and rather than weekly change of the sales, make it each 3 or 4 days, or maybe based it around how many hunts you have done. Other than that, it is a good concept because it has an RNG part to it, but due to the other functions of the sale vendor, they combine well. The problem is that if you want to use him to the full potential, you will have to invest real life money into the game, and that leaves me with a really bad taste in my mouth. There are very few ways to obtain platinum without buying it with money, even though this game does not offer a PvP part, and technically there is no way you can pay to win, with the need to get platinum in order to speed up cell crafting and unlocking more crafting slots. It kind of feels like pay to be better and faster at it. I'm not against paying for cosmetics, but now you're technically giving people a way to pay to get better and to have better sales. It's not something big like gear and weapons, but still, sales make a very big part of the game. They could have made the speed up function to be tied to playing the game more rather than spending money on it, like farming certain behemoth parts which you need to speed up the different cell combinations, or using random behemoth parts as ingredients to craft the cells or speed them up. There were tons of ways to make this tied to in-game playing rather than spending money outside of the game to get something inside of it. There will be quests from the vendor for Ace Chips initially, and Phoenix Labs have written already that they plan to add more ways to get these, but I'm skeptical how long the planning part will take, and I do not even want to think about implementing those plans afterwards, but I do hope they manage to squeeze the plans in less than a year. The system, as it stands now, will give you a chance to create 6 plus 2 cells per week, and yes, I'm making them 6 not 7 because when you have a 24-hour cooldown, the time at which you can start the crafting each day will move a bit every day, since you technically will not get you will not set up an alarm, and you will not do it at the precise time each day, and this will skip you a day or force you to log in at the game solely for this each day at a specific time, which makes it sound like you're having a second job which you hate but you have to do rather than enjoying an in-game mechanic. Overall, it is a good system to add to the game, but as I said, binding it partially to real-life currency leaves a bad taste in my mouth, since there will be many options they could have gone for rather than the currency, and on that note, rather than have a new currency like Ace Chips which costs platinum to acquire, which costs money in return, they could have simply used the platinum currency in the first place inside the middleman. Don't get me wrong, I'm just being honest here, since the only thing I mind is tying up some sort of game mechanic which changes the way you play substantially to money. Cosmetics are fine, but sales are a main part of the game. Anyways, I leave you guys to decide what you think in the comments down below. You might agree with me, you might disagree, everyone has the freedom to share, and I will be glad to read what you guys think. Thanks for watching this one, and this was everything for this video. Like it if you enjoyed it, dislike it if you did not, and remember that if you want to see more content, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon in order to get notifications. Shadow Strider out.